Nathan's dead, plays Minecraft. 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 Nathan's dead, plays Minecraft.
Dad, is this really your intro?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. Nathan is trying to get to 100 subscribers, and Dad is helping him out here. So, if you guys could just kind of smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. He's got one more cord that has to come before he can start live streaming, which is what he really likes to do. Supposed to be here 2 days ago, and well, the post office still hasn't gotten it here, so you know how that goes. So anyway, today we are going to start out working on moving this cobblestone generator. Couple of things. A, I just kind of like it out of the way off to one side. And B, we're going to start putting some flammable stuff around it. And as you saw in the last video, or from your own experience, it just kind of happens that every so often stuff randomly bursts about into flame near it. And if I've got, if I've got stuff that's flammable around it, like trees and stuff, that's not going to be good. So putting around cobblestone and surrounding it that way is really going to be the best thing to do. Okay, so kind of same way as before, except for I'm going to move the water source so that way it flows the cobblestone back to me if it flies backwards. It can still fly in the lava, but if it flies backwards, then the water stream will push it for me. And so that's why I've got this the way I do. I'm going to put the water on that back one. I've got the half slab over there, as you can see. Well, yep, there it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of point to infinity through that half slab when I'm mining, so that way I don't mine anything else. And then I'm going to put the lava over on the left side there. So, like I said, now if the cobblestone flies backwards, the water source should bring it towards me, and that should be much more amazing. So, maybe get a couple more pieces out of every pickaxe, which, any kind of bonus you can get like that is great. Also need to set up an infinite water source as well. Those are really nice to have just at your fingertips. And so a couple ways you can do that. Probably the easiest way is going to be to set up a 2x2 area here. Yeah, probably half slab not going to work. Yep, so we'll set up a 2x2 area. You can also do it in a line as well. On a 1x3, but with the 1x3, the middle one is the only one that is infinite, whereas if we set it up with a 2x2 like this, then all four corners will be infinite because it'll fill in as needed. So yeah, so that's pretty much the design there. I'll go ahead and bring the water and lava over, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we've got that done, and we're ready to add the lava into the cobblestone generator. It's going to go right there. So, and once again, always add the water first so you don't accidentally turn your lava into a block of obsidian. So, yeah, so as you can see, I'm just kind of mining towards that gap in the back, and yeah, the water should carry everything to me. Now, I'm also concerned about phantoms, so what I'm going to do now is build myself a little ledge over the top of me with solid blocks, so that way the phantoms cannot see me. I'm pretty sure they can see through half slabs, and so I'm going to go ahead and put some solid blocks here, and then I'll half slab the top of those as well. And through the magic of editing, that is now complete. Yeah, I don't think I need to have that quite that high, so 2 half slabs make a full block, and so just need to half slab the top of this again, make it spawn proof. And now we've got a little place to spend the night just in time for the phantoms to not arrive. It's a little tight in here, but it'll be alright. Next, I want to go ahead and get to work on a tree farm. It's nice to have a couple of saplings, or nice to have a couple of trees up here, but I'm starting to get a few more saplings, which is nice. Don't think I'll have to worry about those anymore, and so I think I want to start working on a tree farm. So what I'm thinking is right now dirt is a little bit scarce still, so we will be able to make it here once we get this mob farm going. But so what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and put it on that level below and just put dirt blocks over the slabs, and we'll see how we like it. I'll be back. Alright, and we are back, just putting the final finishing touches on this little platform area that I built down here. And then I'll kind of show you what I've started. Now eventually this will need to be a lot bigger and encompass all the different kind of trees. You know, eventually I may even make a TNT farm if there's a coral reef. I'm not sure if there's a coral reef in this version of Skyblock or not. But yeah, you do need the fans to do that from what I understand. But anyway, yeah, I've got 3 dirt blocks just in the sky here. I'm going to go ahead and half slab those underneath. And then I've got torches on each side because, of course, trees need light to grow. And starting to get a little bit more wood now, so torches are not such a scarce resource for me to have. And yeah, this should be enough light for them to grow. I've also decided to put 5 spaces between each tree. As you can see, the leaves on that one go out too wide, which is pretty typical. But you know, if there are a couple of trees that decide they want to be bigger and give us some extra leaves, I want to make sure that they've got room to do that. And so, yeah, so this is our little tree farm right here. And as you can see, we're starting to get a good collection of saplings, so that's nice to have. And pop. So yeah, and then after this, you know something? I think after this we should work on a general mob farm. I think that would be the best thing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this tree farm here and gather up some resources, and then we can start on a general mob farm. I'll be right back. Okay, and quick change of plan. I decided before I build this general mob farm, I should go ahead and have some more food on hand. I've got a few apples around, but you know, having some melon slices and some pumpkins, although I don't really think you can eat pumpkins and such, would be a much better idea. Now that water source there, as you can see, it flowed all the way down, so technically I don't need an infinite source up there, but it does keep you from having the current push you around, especially without having any enchantments on, well, without even having boots, much less enchantments on the boots. And so go ahead and make all these water sources here, so that way I don't have to worry about if I get in the water being pushed around by the current. Then I'm going to also plant the sugarcane next to the water as well. Sugarcane can be placed on top of grass, so that'll keep the grass source blocks here, so that way I don't have to worry about losing the grass and can still make use of the space. Then on the corner I figured I'd go ahead and put the watermelon and the pumpkin seeds, so that way they've got a couple of different options as to which way to grow. Yep, and another advancement, a seedy place. Nice. Let's see, put the other one over here. Alright, and then last we'll go ahead and place these 4 wheat seeds that we have. Yep, you know something, let's give that pumpkin and melon a little bit more room to grow just for the first couple. Then after that, we can cut them off a little bit more because we'll have more to plant. So yeah, so this is the start of our little mini farm up here. And as you can see with what I've done to the tree farm over here, I've got a lot more places for them to grow, and I'm going to go ahead and move these two over here as well, just because they're not going to grow so high with having that shelf above them. So, yep, and then another thing you want to make sure that you do is go ahead and light up any areas like this, because, yeah, we do not mob spawning in our food area. That would kind of defeat the purpose. Alright, and I'm going to do a little more grinding, and then after I get back we should be able to start on this mob farm. Okay, and as you can see, I've gathered up a good little bit of material to get us started. This probably won't be enough to build the whole thing, but it should give us a good start. And where do I... Oh yes, and there's what I've done with the tree farm as well. Also added some half tabs to the side because I realized with some of those taller trees I was not able to get the dirt block there. So, here's something. Let's go ahead and head out this way to make our mob spawner. So, now I have had mob spawners in the past go really, really bad on me. And so what I do now is I like to place some trap doors in between where my main area is and then where I plan to have the mob spawner, so that way if something happens and they kill me, there's still some trap doors and they don't come right into the base. So what I do is make a 2 wide area here. On the end you're going to want to make sure they're full blocks and they're lit up because you want the trapdoors on top of these. And you place them from this end here. Let's get these middle ones out. And then we're going to need to go across and place them the other way as well. So that way you can go ahead and close them from either side, but mobs will still think they can walk over them, so they will be more than happy to drop themselves into the void rather than ruining your day. So yeah, this is kind of the way I'm going to set up the entire island here, so that way if something happens and I lose one part of it. Now once again, you want to be careful when you are putting down these half slabs and stepping down onto them, because it is very easy to get launched into the void. Had it happen to me many times, going from a full block to a half block. I don't know why that is, but that, if I know I've spent a lot of time gathering these resources that are in my inventory, and you don't want to lose all that time just because of a silly game mechanic that likes to launch in the void, so always be careful doing that. I'm going to build a platform out here and make it a little ways away from the base, probably about 25 blocks or so, just far enough to where everything is still in render range while I'm working on my base, so I can have that kind of working in the back and every once in a while just go get the passive mob drops. I'm also going to make it probably at least 32 high. 24 high will be plenty as far as getting stuff to spawn in on the platform above, because mobs do need to just be at least 24 blocks away to spawn. But by the same token, I also want witches to die instantly, which I believe they need at least 32 blocks of fall damage. So this way the only thing that's not going to die instantly is going to be skeletons or zombies with feather falling on their boots. So, and killing the occasional skeleton or zombie should not be such a bad idea. And something I'm also going to make this 4 wide as well. I think eventually I'll put a fence on both sides of it, then I don't have to be so careful walking around on it. Yep. And get the trapdoors there. And there. Alright. Excellent. Let's go to the sky. Yeah, something. Let's go ahead and make this symmetrical. Just because the little voice inside of me has CDO. And for those of you who know what OCD is, CDO is very much like OCD, except for all of the letters are in the correct order as they should be. So let's get to work on this platform. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a little 2x2 area for them to fall into. And then we're going to have a half slab area to where we can reach under and just kill them if we need to. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on this platform, and I will be back once I make a little progress. Alright, and I've got the killing area worked out here now. So there's a 4x4 area in the center where the mobs are going to die. And then what we need to do now is we need to go up about 33 blocks. I believe it's 32 blocks where witches die. Let me see. If you look on here, you can see that we are looking at block at height number 57. So if we go about 90, that'll be about 33, 34 blocks. That'll guarantee everything except for something with feather falling, like a zombie or a skeleton, will die instantly. And that's what we want with this mob farm. Now, husks will also drop loot as well. I believe husks drop sand, if I remember correctly. So we can go ahead and once we get to that, we can build us an XP farm over there where they can just drop and we can kill them in one hit. And I may want to figure out a way to filter out the creepers. I've got some ideas on that. Oh, nice. Got a nice big tree over there. And so, yep, let's go ahead and head up to, or build this up to level 90. Now you notice I do have one extra appendage, I guess you would call it, on this thing, and that's so that way I've got a way to mine down it. You know, I guess I could have done it with the corner looking back, but that's fine. And if you build it, if you go up 3, then you can crouch and place 3 and just really keep your trigger finger down. Well, until you run out of stone like that. But makes it much easier building these things if you do them 3 at a time. And so, yeah. So we're going to go up to level 90, and then we're going to build ourselves a spawning platform as well, and use the power of water to get the mobs into the chute. So I'll go ahead and head back once I get that done. And we have done it. Put these last few pieces of cobblestone in here, and we will be at level 90. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to want to go out 9 blocks in every single direction. So this will be, what, 9 plus the 2 in the center, 9, 10. So a 20 by 20 platform approximately. Yeah, that seems right. And the outside is going to be for the wall. That's what the very outer end is going to be, is for the wall. And then after that, the water will be able to flow down 8 bricks, which is exactly how much water falls. Let's do that so I can remember where to get down at. And so, yeah, so we're going to want to do a platform 9 in every direction, just here in the center. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 is the one we placed up. So let's get to work on that, and I just wanted to break in to show you guys that part, and I will be back. Okay, folks, and let me put this last stone here, and we have the basic structure completed. As you can see, the center here has a 2-wide trench on either side, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a water source in the end of that trench, and 2 source blocks, 1 on each side. And the mobs will, of course, not spawn in the water, but they will spawn on the platform around it, and eventually they will just pathfind on their own into the water. Now, every once in a while we may need to come out of render range, depending on how many spiders build up. I've got an idea for a spider elimination system, something that will drown them, but something. Honestly, it just took a little too long to mine all this cobblestone, and we'll see how it goes without it. I think it'll be just fine. But there are some spiders that will climb up the walls, and then obviously they will not fall into the trap. I've also put 1 water source block there. Put another one there to make an infinite water supply. And then that's what I use to get the water everywhere, and then I'll just put a block on the one side there to make it all symmetrical. The nice thing with it being 3 blocks high is you can fall without fall damage. And so, yep, and now I can just go ahead and go around and put water everywhere else. And as you can see, it goes right to the end there. So that will push the mobs into the kill chamber very effectively, if I can get the water right. Haha, there we go. Okay, and just do this for the other 2 sides. Okay, and 1 more side to go. And one other note, you see the torches everywhere. When you're building this, you do want to light this up, because you obviously don't want mobs attacking you while you're building a place to bring them to their death. Pop that there. And now this one will be good to go. Grab that cobblestone before it goes down. And you can tell if you did it right, because as you can see right there, there's 1 water source missing, and it did not go quite all the way to the end. Now once we get sand, we could put some glass on the end there to make the mobs fall a little bit more efficiently, but something, I think it'll be just fine. This design has worked well on single player worlds for me in the past. Sometimes on multiplayer worlds it does not work so well, just because of the different settings that are involved with a multiplayer world. But on single player worlds, this one has always worked very well for me. So get a reasonable amount of mobs that come in and then fall to their death. And so yeah, so let's finish putting up the wall. Now putting up the wall here, you've got a choice. You can go 3 or 4 high. If you go 4 high, then you've got a chance of getting Endermen to spawn as well. I am just not equipped to deal with them, because they will spawn up here, and then when they hit the water they will teleport. Oh, and our buddy the Wandering Trader has arrived. Hello, Wandering Trader. He's got some llamas. So, but yes, he could also very easily push us down. Oh, that's not too bad trades. You didn't even think about possibly getting coral for him for a TNT duplicator. But obviously at this point in the game I do not have any emeralds, so I am going to, well, I'm going to go ahead and go on building here, and hopefully they don't push me off. Oops, and one of the llamas fell. Or one of the llamas fell. And of course he's going to get right in the way here as I try and half slab this. So I'll just half slab everywhere where he's, except for where he's at now. Maybe he would like to find his way off the edge here. Of course not. There we go. Nice. Yeah, but the biggest thing with Wandering Trader when you're up on the world like this is he can push you off. Oh, that llama's hanging on for dear life, but I am pretty sure it's going to meet its demise here pretty soon. And we'll finish half slabbing this. Now, the reason this is too high and then, or 3 high and then a half slab on top, but I say it will not spawn Enderman, is in order for the light level to be 0 on the inside of this, you're going to have a full block. A half slab lets some light through, or at least that's been my experience in the past. Because I built one of these and it quit working after an update, and I went in and the light level was not 0 on the inside, and so the only thing I could assume was that a half slab let light through. So I have not verified that with the wiki or anything like that, but I am just going from experience. So on the top here we're going to put a cobblestone, and then and it looks like our friend the Wandering Trader is falling into the trap, and that's the same thing that will happen with mobs as well, and they will just end up going down the chute there. And looks like he will probably have met his demise. So I need to get some more materials, I think, and finish this up. But you can see the general design here. The water stream travels along 8 blocks and stops in the center. There's a 2x2 spot in the center, and then the walls are on the outer edge here. So a 20x20 platform is how you build this, and I'll just need to put the solid block and then the half slab on top to finish it off. That way no mobs can spawn on top and I don't have to worry about lighting it up. And then we should have ourselves a working mob farm. If you guys need more details about this, just mention in the comments and I can go into a little more detail, but I think from what I've got here you can figure it out. So we will be back once I start to see some mobs fall. And as I get to the bottom here, something surprising happened. As you can see in the kill chamber here, the Wandering Trader has met his demise. However, apparently llamas have enough health to survive a drop 34 high. I guess that's because they live in the mountains. So you know something, buddy? I think you are coming with me. Get this lead and have you follow us out here. And if you can make it over the trapdoors. Oh yeah, I guess we're probably going to need to break that, huh? Alright, come on, buddy. Make a fence post and hit you up there until we get a farm area. Now, passive mobs will spawn on grass. I'm pretty sure I've said that before, so we are going to need to build a grass platform a little bit lower to the ground in order to help that process out. But for now, we've got ourselves a llama. And, you know, normally I would probably go ahead and kill them for leather, but since this guy survived such a long fall, I think I am going to keep him. So we'll put you over here. I don't think you'll be able to get to wander off the edge that way. And then I will go ahead and finish that up. But as you can see, the design and the shape there, yeah, I think it looks pretty good for a cobblestone box. So yeah, so I'm going to finish this up, and I'll be back again once we start getting some mob drops. Okay, and I brought you back as I am placing the last couple blocks in the ceiling here. So as you can see, I've got the half slab up top, and then I've got the full block everywhere else. And the mobs will spawn on the platforms and eventually pathfind their way into the water, in which case they will fall to their death, like I said, unless sometimes we get the ones with the feather falling, and then those ones. You know what'll make this work a lot better? If I don't have torches up there. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and remove the torches, because I would have been very disappointed if this would have not worked. Then I would have gone up to check the light level and realized, oh my gosh. So yes, so this is a silly moment for me. But yeah, let's go ahead and take down all these torches. And you don't really have to be too careful with this, I don't guess, because if they fall, they're going to fall into the mob grind, or into the kill chamber below, and you should be able to get most of them. So and thankfully we've got a good supply of wood now, thanks to that little bitty tree farm that we've got going on there. So it looks like we've got just a few more. And then, of course, you can build this a couple levels high too if you do want more efficient mob spawns. But as you can, well, I guess the skylight is 0 too, so that's really not a good test. But the block light is 0 as well, so let's go ahead and place a cobblestone above to seal that in. And then I'll just clear up these extra few random blocks as well, so that way it looks symmetrical from the bottom. Alright, and I am guessing by the time I get to the bottom here, we may have a few mob drops. At least that's the hope. Because the mob spawn radius is kind of like a circle. It's not a square around you. So as we start to get to the bottom here, the mobs on the further ends will be able to spawn, and it normally does not take them very long to pathfind into that water. Some people make the water 2 down, but you know, I don't know if you would need trapdoors to get them to fall into it, since it's a 2 high drop. 1 high they normally just walk right into. And there we go. As you can see, it's already working. We've got ourselves some bone meal and some gunpowder. And gunpowder will be useful a little bit later. Don't really have too much of use for it right now, but in later episodes we will head to the end and get an elytra, because that is a thing on this world. And then we'll be able to fly around the Skyblock world, which will certainly make things a lot easier. Now, from what I understand, the Nether is actually, or the end portal is actually in the Nether fortress that's in this world. So you don't have to find a fortress or anything like that. Let's see. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so I can access these drops from all sides. Because it is a 2x2, that means that the mob drops on the back I will not be able to get. But if you just make it so you can access it from all sides, then you'll be able to get all of the mob drops. So again, just being careful when you go from a full slab to a down to a half slab, that you make sure you don't end up catapulting off the world there. Whoa. And then I'm hoping to get some string right away too. I believe it takes 4 string to make a wool. So it's at 4, 8, 12. So once we can get ourselves 12 string, we should be able to make ourselves a bed. And then the phantoms will not be at all any of an issue like that. Oh, there's some string. Nice. And as you can see, there's also gravel in here. In Skyblock, these zombies drop gravel, so that way dirt can become a renewable resource as well. So let's pick up what I can here. And gonna need a few more slabs as well. I think we'll be okay to dig this out unless we get a baby. Oh, and I do have some more slabs. So let's go ahead and finish this off. And again, since creepers can't wear armor, they should never survive the fall. So when we build our mob farm where we actually kill the mobs, it's going to be a little more challenging. I mean, if you can one hit the creepers, that should work most of the time, but if you ever miss one, then they can blow it up and cause all kinds of trouble for you. So I think I may just devise a way to filter out the creepers. And once we get to that, I'll show you that. But yes, so this is our working mob farm. I will light this up and finish placing some blocks around the outside. And eventually I'll probably do some fence posts as well. So, but yes, this is very exciting. We've got 2 strings so far, and once we get another 10, we'll be able to make a bed, and then I am and no more phantoms to worry about. So I am going to call it there. Thank you for all your support. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Help my kiddo out. Oh, and we've got a chicken. Huh. You know, one thing that's interesting about the chickens that spawn on the zombies, for some reason, they despawn on Skyblock. I don't know if that's all chickens or just that one, or you know, if I just got lucky. But actually had 2 of them once, and both of them despawned on me. And so I don't know if you bred them, if that would make a difference or not. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Got us a working mob spawner, a tree farm, and a wheat, sugarcane, and pumpkin and melon farm in this episode. So I think it was a pretty productive episode, and we will see you next time. Thanks, and bye for now.